How's it going, guys? Today I'm here to talk with you about Rocket League and how I feel about the game in general. Give you guys an overview. Maybe if you haven't checked out the game, or maybe you haven't even given any thought about it. Thoughts, maybe a little bit of review, and just give you some thoughts, I guess. So, first off, the game just came out on the new systems, the new generation systems. It was on the computer, and I saw some people playing it on there. And then one day, I just hopped on, and my friend was playing it. And he's like, "Hey, dude, get Rocket League. It's like $20." So I'm like, "All right, might as well check it out." Saw some people play it before. Seemed like a really fun game. So I was like, okay, I have quite a bit of money right now, so I'll buy it. So got done downloading it, hopped on with him, played a few matches, and my initial thought was like, this is a pretty good game. So since then, I've probably played about, I don't know, 100 matches, 200 matches, I don't know, something like that. I've got pretty good experience. I mean, I'm not the best player in the world, but I feel like I can hang with the average players, me and my friends. And I guess when it comes to fun, it's a ton of fun. It's like one of those games where you don't get too mad at the game as long as something BS doesn't happen. And if your teammates are good, if you're playing with random people, you can have some really bad teammates, and if they can't even hit the ball properly, then that would be kind of nerving. But if you're playing with some friends, especially when you get a friend or two on and then you start playing competitive online, the ranking, I think is what it's called. I think you can play 1v1, 2v2, 3v3. That is probably where I like to spend most of my time, because when you're playing the regular game modes, the relax, there's 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, 4v4, and they're relaxed, they're non-ranked. It just kind of doesn't feel like it's worth anything, but it's always good for some warm-ups, or if you want to just hang with your friends, if they're just getting the hang of it. It's pretty good, pretty fun. More people play that than the ranked. But when you get into the ranked game modes, I feel like that is where the most fun is to be had, I guess. I mean, in my opinion, I don't know. Some people might be more relaxed, but I feel like playing for something, playing for ranking to see how high you can get, is a little bit better than if you were just to just play casually and just go from there, because you don't get ranked in unranked. So if I had to choose, I would say ranked is more fun and more, I guess, more, I don't know the right word, more rewarding, I guess, for me, and it's a little bit more fun to play. For you, I mean, that's up to you to find out. It's a good game. I mean, for $20, it's a pretty solid pickup. I mean, you can have a regular game that you play all the time. I don't know if you guys have a certain game that you spend most of your time on, like Battlefield, Call of Duty. I don't know if you guys are into Counter-Strike. Then again, I don't think that's really played on the console. Stuff like that. Just something to stray away from your regular game. I feel like this is a good switch up. Out of maybe a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it an 8. Because there's times where you're having a ton of fun with your friends, and you're running train on people, and you're just winning. You're on a massive win streak, and then maybe you lose a game, and then it makes you just want to be all right, dude, we just lost that one. We lost that one by an overtime goal, so I just want to hop in there and try to get that win streak going again. It kind of get you going, get you pumped. So that kind of has the playability, how long you can play it without really getting bored. So I think the longevity of the game is pretty good for a $20 game. I mean, for how simple it is. I mean, you take cars and you hit the ball into the net. There's some other aspects. There's like turbo and a little bit of like flying techniques, but I mean, for the most part, it's a fun game. 8 out of 10, like I said, maybe if I had to give it a rating. Now there's some pros and cons that I could probably tell you guys, get a better understanding of the game. The pros is, like I mentioned before, it's $20, so I mean, it's not $60 compared to most games. I mean, they probably could easily put like $40 into it and people would probably still buy it, but since it's 20, I mean, it's definitely worth it in my opinion to download it and give it a try. Some other pros is I feel like I could play this for a really long time, especially like if I do drop it for a while and then start playing, my main games like Call of Duty or something else, and then I could just always come back to this when I'm like with my friends and be like, hey, do you want to just play some Rocket League? So that's pretty cool. Another pro is like I feel like it when you play with your friends, it's more like team based instead of just like how kind of like, I don't know, some other games like Call of Duty or something would be like, oh, I'm gonna do well, I don't really care how my team does or anything like that. Like this, like teamwork is pretty big. Like you don't think it is. You think it's just like a bunch of random cars driving around trying to smack the ball. But like if you don't play defense, like if you don't have a goalie at almost all times in 3v3 or even 2v2, then you're probably gonna get beat a lot. So defense and teamwork is big in this game. So I mean, it's cool. So I mean, there is some unlucky times, unlucky bounces, but that's not bad. So for the most part, those are the pros. Fun game. Actually, there's another pro I forgot to mention. There's quite a bit of customization with the car. Like you could put hats, different antenna, like different car styles, and then like different paint on your car. And I think there's probably at least like a good like 30 to 50 different selections for each one of those categories. So that's that's pretty cool when it comes to customization. Some of the cons is that if you get into a laggy game, sometimes the ball bounces weird off of your car, and then it makes it a little bit harder. Cons is if you play by yourself, sometimes you get matched with like really not so great players, and it's kind of frustrating, especially if everybody's mobbing after the ball and not playing any defense and not really helping out. That's not really the best. So what are some other cons? Cons is that there's quite a few people online. I think on the Xbox One, when I've been playing, there's been like in the middle of the day, there's like 80, 75, about 75,000, maybe a little bit less on the weekdays, like anywhere between 75 and 50,000. But and there's like 7 game modes, I think. So like all those people spread across those game modes, you're probably thinking like, oh, that's not bad. But then like when you get late at night or early in the morning, there's only like 1,000 people, so it's not the best. Other than that, can't think of any other cons. But I mean, overall, like I said, 8 out of 10, pretty good game. Pretty solid if you ask me. You guys should check it out. But I guess I'll